What are some of the, I mean, you've had a pretty rough time as well in the past. It's not just something which has affected the United States, but also India. Did all of these, retrenchments come as a big surprise? Did you see that there was a certain high trajectory path which the industry was following, then all of a sudden all those dreams come to an end?
Vishnu, firstly, thank you for having me. It's good to see Manish here as well. I joined Twitter when he was there as well. I'll quickly come to what you asked. So, a couple of things, right? I'm just building on what Manish said already, which is we see a recession on an average once a decade, 2001, 2008, 2022, on an average once a decade. This is an economic phenomenon which almost at this point has to play out. And that timeline is in fact shortening from what data tells us. It was not really a huge surprise, and I'll tell you why, because there were a lot of stories, even in the Bloombergs of the world, starting April and May itself of last year, right? That layoffs would come, this season is about to arrive, right? Interest rates would be hiked, lending would, debt would become more expensive, overhiring has happened, and, companies will have to right size, become financially more resilient and what have you, right? So not exactly a surprise, but if I can be very honest, again, until the time it happens, it's always, in the air, and the moment when you hear about it, that's actually happening, it hits you hard. So there's that for sure.
Yash Agarwal, what are some of the other reasons? Is this exclusively associated with overhires, or is it because companies like Meta find that their vision, for example, the investments in the metaverse, etc., are problematic?
I think three things, right? Number one, the age of free money is coming to an end, right? So when you can hire at, you can just get debt at 0%, or in some countries even lesser. It's just free money in that sense. So, that's one thing. I think the second big thing, also to be very mindful of over here is that companies hired for a different economic reality. So a lot of these companies are involved in providing digital products or services, right? And there was definitely a bump as the pandemic hit, right? And they thought this was the new reality, right? That a lot of people have permanently shifted to shopping online, viewing content online, meeting online, what have you, right? But that's not the case. Human beings are, well, let's just say social animals, right? So as things have eased up, conditions have eased up, things have opened up, people, we have gone back to our old habits, although at a higher baseline than average, right? That's for sure. And